put it simply, console gaming as we know it is dying. This is not to say that it has not had a good run. Console gaming has a long history, stretching back to the 1970s with Pong and the Atari 2600. It further cemented itself in the 1980s with the likes of the Commodore 64 and the Nintendo Entertainment System. Then came the 1990s and early 2000s and the emergence of the PlayStation, the various Nintendo systems, and the Xbox. Today, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox are all hallmarks of the gaming community. One aspect of console gaming and all these systems that has remained the same over all these years is its simplicity, its plug-in and play promise. It has always been able to claim itself as the simpler and cheaper way to game. However, this is beginning to change. Consoles are becoming more complex and multifaceted. Its extensive online features are now as involved as the PCs. They now require frequent updates, and having a new console without a stable internet connection is essentially pointless in today's day of day one patches, frequent updates, and download-only DLC. The fact that the Xbox One was planned to originally be always online is a testament to this fact. While all of this is noteworthy to point out in regards to the changing landscape of console gaming, it is not enough to claim that consoles are in fact dying. However, recent software initiatives and the quick emergence of new hardware may herald the end of consoles as we know them. Late last year, Sony finally confirmed and released the PS4 Pro, an upgrade over the vanilla PS4 in regards to 4K gaming and VR, and later this year, Microsoft will release the Xbox One X, which is heralded as the most powerful console ever. While there is a lot of information to process regarding these new consoles, such as what they are capable of and what is required to get them running at full potential, it is not the purpose of this video to go into those details. What is important to note for this video is that these systems exist at all, and how quickly they have come into existence, and most importantly, what it means for the future of the console market. It has been less than 4 years since the Xbox One and PS4 launched, and we are already getting new consoles. This is a very quick turnaround compared to the 7 years between the 360, PS3, and the Xbox One, PS4 cycle. Console cycles as we once knew them are no more, with the One S and the PS4 Slim and Pro all launching last year and the Xbox One X coming this year. This current generation, or so-called generation, is already over. What this means is the turnaround could be even shorter in the future. Maybe we will see the Scorpio 2 in 2018 or 2019. This new hardware strategy makes the idea of a new console every year or two a very real one. This strategy also closely resembles another major hardware department, cell phones. Every year, Apple and Samsung, among others, are releasing new phones with better specs and more features while still keeping them connected to previous iterations. This similarity is not lost to the people at Microsoft, and Mike Ybarra, the director of program management at Xbox, has said the inspiration for this new console market model comes from the smartphone model. This could mean that sometime soon we will live in a world where a new console is released every year. While it has been promised that the Xbox One and PS4 will still be supported going forward, there will still be a strong incentive for most gamers to get the latest system, as is the case with smartphones. I imagine a similar situation will arise with the release of the Xbox One X. The people buying them will be mostly those who already own an older version of the system. It's just natural to want the latest and best iteration of your favorite devices, even if the current one is still working. Smartphones have proven this time and time again, and the PC market has also shown this with those who yearly upgrade their graphics cards to the latest offering. This is also a smart move from a business standpoint. Hardware sales and profits are likely to skyrocket in the next few years due to the sheer amount of hardware available. This may not be a bad thing for gaming, since it will allow for more frequent innovation in game design. Innovation that is not possible when the industry is being held back by 7-year-old hardware. Despite this, the new model all but spells doom for the traditional idea of console gaming and completely shatters two of its longest standing ideals: simplicity and being the cheaper way to game. 10 years ago, buying a new console meant that you were set for the foreseeable future, with no additional purchases being necessary to access all the games on that platform. That financial comfort is no longer around, as console gamers who want to get into 4K gaming or VR will need an Xbox One X or PS4 Pro only 4 years after buying the vanilla version of those systems. If this trend continues, it is possible that in 5 years' time, the amount of money an Xbox gamer will have spent to stay up to date with the latest tech may exceed the money a PC gamer puts into a new PC in that time frame. This is especially important when you consider the graphics cards are getting cheaper, Nvidia's new 1000 series provides an exceptional amount of power for less money than the 900s. In addition to this, we just simply don't know how many consoles will exist in 5 years' time. One of the reasons for this uncertainty is the simple competitive nature of the business. Sony and Microsoft are about to enter into a console war of unparalleled proportions as both try to put out the best console on the market. It is clear as of now that the Xbox One X will be a superior machine to the PS4 Pro. What this means is that Sony is likely already planning for the future. There's already been rumors of a PS5 or PS4 Pro 2 making the rounds on the internet. But by releasing the Pro early, Sony gets their foot in the door and gives them a year to sell as many systems as they can before the Xbox One X hits. Once it hits, then they can get ready to release the Pro 2, and if this hypothetical system ends up being stronger than the Xbox One X, then undoubtedly Microsoft will themselves feel need to release a new system that is better than Sony's new system. In short, the argument for console's cheap entry point is slowly becoming a moot point. The simplicity is also going out the window. Now gamers need to ask themselves, do they want a 4K system? Do they have the accessories needed to take advantage of 4K? Do they want to invest in VR? And so on. In addition to this, by the end of 2017, there will be 3 Xbox Ones and 3 PS4s. Prospective console gamers can no longer just walk into Best Buy or some other store and ask for a PS4 or an Xbox One. They need to research beforehand which system is best for them and which system falls within their budget. There is also all the uncertainty with so many systems coming and so many more likely to come. There's also just general uncertainty. With the quick release of so many consoles, you have to ask yourself, when I buy this console that's out now, is it still going to be worth having in 2 years? There's just no way to know, and that's part of the problem. The next issue that will make the future of consoles more complicated is the games themselves, specifically VR and the potential for Xbox One X or PS4 Pro exclusives down the line. Promises have been made that all games can still be played on the vanilla consoles, but this promise may not hold up. This is purely speculative at this point, but I believe developers will want to take full advantage of new hardware and would probably be more work to make it compatible across all platforms, especially 2 or 3 years from now when we have 4 or 5 Xbox Ones and PS4s. How long can the older ones realistically stay relevant? It is also clear that Microsoft wants to convince their customer base to upgrade to the latest systems by claiming they will roll out some sort of trade-in program when the Xbox One X launches. Xbox Services Manager Dave McCarthy says he wants to make the transition as smooth as possible. All of this suggests that Microsoft may eventually abandon the vanilla Xbox One at some point. As if the shortened life cycle of a console and the loss of simplicity was not enough, Microsoft dropped a bombshell at E3 2016 when it announced its Xbox Play Anywhere program. The promise made was that any game Microsoft Studio published would come to both Windows 10 and the Xbox. In addition to this, you could play the game on either platform after purchasing it just once. As it stands now, every game Microsoft has shown at E3 in the last 2 years is Xbox Play Anywhere compatible. Sony too has also made moves into the PC sphere. They recently announced and rolled out PlayStation Now for PCs, which essentially allows PC gamers to have access to a large library of classic PS3 games. It is essentially the same program the PS4 uses to allow for backward compatibility, just now it can be used on PCs as well. In addition to this, on March 13th, 2017, Sony announced that PS4 games will soon be available on the PlayStation Now service. This means that PC users may well soon be able to play games like Uncharted 4, The Last Guardian, and Horizon Zero Dawn on their PC. If this ends up being the case and the PlayStation Now service grows as a result, it can become a critical aspect of the demise of consoles. What all of this suggests is that Microsoft and to some extent Sony are trying to merge console and PC gaming into one platform. Phil Spencer nor anyone else at Microsoft or Sony have come out and directly said this. In fact, Phil Spencer directly denied such allegations. However, this does not mean it is not in the works. Such an ambitious game-changing initiative would obviously be kept close to the chest until the appropriate time. Even if I am wrong in regards to the merging of the console and PC platforms and the overall death of consoles themselves, it cannot be denied that console gaming has and will continue to change. While this may be unfortunate for the consumer in the short term, I believe in the long run it could be better for gaming as a whole. Thank you for listening to this JJ&Games discussion. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and check back for more videos in the future.